We must get to the fourth generation. And the gospel has primarily worked its way from 33 AD to now through relationship. And discipleship is simply that. It is a deep relational journey. It's not an event, it's a deep relational journey with somebody else. The early church called this process the catechumenate. Today it's called, the buzzword is discipleship. What we're calling it is triad. What's a triad? It was introduced to you guys last week, but I've got a really long, wordy 2 sentences that I'm going to walk through for a lot of this morning. A triad, which is what we're putting so much of our effort into because we really believe what the early church experienced is something that we can experience, is this faithful passing along of what we have learned in the gospel that's been entrusted to us. A triad is a leader living 1 year of life with 2 to 3 disciples that has relationship and teaching. It is both organized and organic, focusing on passing along what the leader has to guide their disciples towards maturity in Christ with the expectation that they'll do the same. Now, those 2 sentences are not going to win me any literary awards. They were like Paul's sentences there. But I want to break them down and just say, okay, here's what we're going after. If you were here last week, you heard a little bit from Kristen about this. This is the thing that we are putting our energy into. And it's not going to be the thing that grows City Church the most, but it is going to be the thing that I think has maximum kingdom impact in the city of Cincinnati. So, next slide with the first part highlighted. It is a leader living 1 year of life with 2 to 3 disciples. 2 to 3. There are some advantages to one-on-one, but the multiplication is harder. And also, there is something really sweet when you are discipled with a peer. It brings in this level of peer discipleship. So it's 1-on-2 or 1-on-3. There's something amazing that happens when you're being discipled with someone that you might be hanging out with on a Friday night. It is 1 year. It's not forever. That might sound mechanical, but I promise you there is something in terms of the law of diminishing returns. My guy that raised his hand earlier, I discipled him for 3 years, him and Brandon. And the first year was amazing, second year was good. Third year, I feel like, man, you guys should have been somewhere else. I gave you almost all that I had to give. There is something about the law of diminishing returns. And there is something about even getting to learn from different people at different portions of your life. So it is 2 to 3 people for 1 year. Next slide. That has relationship and teaching. Now this is one of the many, many tensions that we hold in this church. Is it just hanging out? No. Is it just teaching and passing along information? No. It is relationship and teaching. You should actually click with the people that you're being discipled by or you're discipling and the people that you're being discipled with. Next slide. It is both organized and organic. This will be where I get the most complaints. And this will be where we tweak the most things over the next, I hope, 30, 40, 50 years of doing this. This is the tension that causes mega churches, small churches, and house churches to not be able to get it to the 4th generation. And so the tension we're holding here, we believe, is where we can best make sure that this thing keeps going. So on one side, it is organized. Put up that next one. You're meeting bi-weekly. Here's the guardrails we're putting in. We're saying, hey, this is what we hope. If you break the rules, it's fine. It's okay. But we're really saying, these are the things that we're saying, this is going to make sure that there is something about it. Meeting bi-weekly for 1 year. What are we going to cover? There are a number of things that I hope your triad leader or you, the triad leader, pass on. There are 7 essentials that we're like, hey, make sure these are covered. And if anybody is like, no, I don't want to cover prayer, like, we should talk. Like, these are essentials. And it ends, although I'm going to recommend that it starts and it ends, but it ends with a 24-hour getaway. I just did mine like 2 weeks ago. I had some 27-year-olds crying in the back of my car as we were in the first hour of it, and I'm like, this is what I want my life to be about. Right here. Like, oh, this has been so good. I'm not going to tell you which ones were crying. But I did that getaway, and I'm like, this is maybe the most effective thing I've done all year. This is where we're putting our energy. It has to be organized. And the anti-institution people among us are going to say, I don't want it. Don't tell me what to do. And look, there are things even on that list right there that if I was doing this only by myself, I would not do it that way. But this is what after talking with a bunch of people and seeing it work for a couple of years, that we've said this is probably the best way that we can make sure this thing gets passed on. It's organized. It's also organic. Now, this is going to be the part, the first part, the organized part, is going to challenge the house church people among us. The organic part is going to challenge the pastors among us, the church leaders among us, because this thing has to be decentralized. It's got to be organic. It cannot be, well, here's all 26 of your lessons over the biweekly thing, and we need you to just read this script and then make sure you pray at the end. No. There is a passing on of what that triad leader has to the next generation. This is why it does not often work in churches. Because this will challenge. This is going to challenge me. It is giving away influence. We have to give away influence if we're going to see this thing break outside of the four walls. So it's organized and it's organic. Next slide. Focusing on passing along what that leader has. So it's teaching, but it's not just a curriculum. There's 7 things we want you to cover, but you're going to meet 26 times. What does that leader have that they can pass along to you? I know I've done some like structured lessons in my triad, but the best one that Catherine and I led with these 3 couples that we've been discipling was just out of our own experience of, hey, here's what we went through a couple years ago, and this is how we've seen God meet us. What does the leader have to pass on to you? Next slide. To guide their disciples towards maturity in Christ. The goal is maturity. This is the goal. Ephesians 4, Colossians 1. Jesus says, here's what I'd love. I'd love a mature bride to be presented to me. So the goal is not just converts. However, do you want to know the best way to reach new people? To have mature people reaching out in their sphere of influence. This is an evangelism strategy, just not in the most standard way. The goal is maturity, and the next slide, with the expectation that they'll do the same. This is not meant to be a flex, but I am proud of it, so maybe it is. For the last 16 years, I have discipled at least 2 men in my life every year. And this is going to be new for me. I have not once said, hey, I only want to do this if like you're also going to take this on. And a lot of the guys I've discipled have. But this is me raising the bar even in my own life of saying, I don't want to ask this. I don't want to put like stipulations. But honestly, I'm feeling the urgency of the kingdom probably more than I ever have. I'm 36. I've got, I hope, 50 more like really good, fruitful years of ministry. That means I've got only 50 more triads that I can lead. I want maximum kingdom impact in my life. And maximum kingdom impact means before I sign up to pour into another couple of guys, I want to say, hey, I just want to make sure. Do you want to take this thing on? Will you do this thing next year? Will you find other faithful people to pass it on to? And it's not a law. If you're not ready, that's fine. But the expectation is, guys, we really want to see this thing ripple. And I promise you, at the end of 1 year, you will be qualified to lead other people. I'm feeling the urgency. I'm thinking about that rope. I've been so consumed with this part of the rope. I want to live this part of the rope to make sure that I have maximum kingdom impact in the other 299 feet of that thing. Let's do something significant in our city. Let's do something significant. Let's see the city changed.